Okay, Wildcats, everyone that journal page 57, solving real-world rational equations repeated with different numbers in the word problems. Okay, so again, this is one of those topics I want to go back over and kind of review and kind of go into more detail on some of the questions. Okay, solving real-world rational equations steps. Step 1, identify the important information. Step 2, complete the table. Step 3, write the equation. Step 4, solve the equation. Okay. Example 1. A save percentage in lacrosse is found by dividing the number of saves by the number of shots faced. A lacrosse goalie saved 3 of 11 shots. How many additional consecutive saves X must the goalie make to raise his percentage to .80? Okay, so step 1, he saved 3 shots. The goalie faced 11 shots. The goalie's current save percentage is 0.27. Okay, so our target percent is 0.80. Shots faced would be 3 plus x. Shots faced would be 11 plus x. So our equation would be 3 plus x divided by 11 plus x equals 0.80. Now, in the previous video, we just set the equation up and we didn't solve. Okay? But let's go ahead and add and solve. Okay? So we're going to cross multiply. Okay? So I don't know what 0.8 times 11 is, so let's do 0.8 times 11 is 8.8. Okay, so that's 8.8 plus 0.80x equals 1 times 3 plus x is 3 plus x. Technically, that's a 1. Whenever you have x's on both sides, you subtract the smaller x from the larger x. So we're going to subtract 0.80x from both sides. So this cancels. You're left with 8.8 equals 3 plus 0.20x. You're going to subtract 3 from both sides. We've run out of room, so we'll come back over here. Okay. 8.8 minus 3 is 5.8 equals, this cancels, and then 0.20x. Last step, divide 0.20 by both sides. This divides and becomes 1. So 5.8 divided by 0.2 is 29. Okay, what that means is 3 plus 29 would be 32 saves out of 11 plus 29 is 40. So he would now need to make 39 or 32 out of 40 saves. Okay. All right, go ahead and finish up example 1. All right, let's take a look at example 2. Jake can mulch a garden in 30 minutes. Together, Jake and Ross can mulch the same garden in 12 minutes. How much time t in minutes will it take Ross to mulch the garden when working alone? Write the equation in the form Jake's rate times minutes worked plus Ross's rate times minutes worked equals 1. Step 1, identify the important information. Okay, Jake can mulch a garden in 30 minutes. Jake and Ross can mulch the same garden in 12 minutes. That means Jake can mulch one garden in 30 minutes, so his time, or work rate, I should say, is 1 divided by 30. Ross can do one garden. His time, we don't know. His rate is 1 divided by 12. Okay, so Jake's rate, we know, is 1 divided by 30 times 12 plus Ross's rate is 1 divided by t, because we don't know his time, times 12 equals 1. So now let's go ahead and solve. So we have to multiply it by the common denominator of 30t. Now, I think 30 times 12 is 360, but let me double check. 12 times 30 is 360. So that's 360t divided by 30 plus 360t divided by t equals 30t. Now, this divides and becomes 1. 360 divided by 30 is 12. So 12 plus, 12t plus 360 equals 30t. Now, running out of room, so I'm going to move this back up here. So we have 12t plus 360 equals 30t. Now, we're going to subtract 12t from both sides. This cancels. You get 360 equals 18t. Divide both sides by 18. So this divides and becomes 1. So 360, just change this to 18, is 20. Okay. So the equation to determine how long it takes Ross to mulch alone is 20 minutes. Okay, go ahead and finish up example 2. Let's take a look at example 3. A new ice skating rink will be approximately rectangular in shape and will have an area of 19,256 square feet. Using the equation for the perimeter P of the skating rink in terms of its width W and are the dimensions of the skating rink if the perimeter is 630 feet. Identify the important information. So the perimeter is 630. The area is 19,256. Okay. So the area equals length times width. The perimeter is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Okay, so we know area is 19,256 equals length times width. Perimeter is 630 equals 2 times length plus 2 times width. Now last time we solved for W and found L. This time we're going to solve for L and find W. So we're going to take 19,256 equals L times W, and we're going to divide W by both sides. This divides and becomes 1. So length equals that. We're going to plug that into here. So that's 630 equals 2 times 19,256 divided by W plus 2W. Now we need to multiply everything by W. So you get 630 W equals W times 2, which is 2W. And let's just leave that as 19,256. plus 2w squared. Okay, so we have 2w squared. Oh, wait. Sorry. Not wrong, but this is better. So we're going to subtract 630w from both sides. So we get 0 equals 2w squared plus 2w times 19,256 minus 630w. Okay, we can divide everything by 2. Oh, before we do that, almost forgot. This is divided by w, so this divides and becomes 1. So now we have 0 equals 2w squared plus, and actually we actually want to put the minus 6w first. You want to go w squared w and then plus 2 times 19,256. So like before, we're going to divide everything by 2. That gives you 0 equals w squared, because this divides and becomes 1. Negative 630 divided by 2 is minus 315 w. And then this divides and becomes 1. And then you're left with plus 19,256. Okay. Now, like before, we're going to use Pythagorean theorem. So w equals negative b, not Pythagorean theorem, I'm sorry, quadratic formula. B squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. We plug everything in. So w equals negative 315 plus or minus the square root of b squared is negative 315 squared minus 4 times 1 times 19,256 divided by 2 times 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug that in our calculator. Remember, this becomes a positive. So you have 315. Oh, let's do divide. Divide 315 plus square root, parentheses, negative 315 squared minus 4 times 1 times 19,256 divided by 2 times 1 is 232. So w equals 232. And then to find the length, we just change this plus to a minus and 83. So the dimensions are 232 by 83 feet. All right, go and finish up example 3. All right, example 4. A riverboat travels at an average of 14 kilometers per hour in still water. The riverboat travels 100 kilometers east up the Wildcat River and 100 kilometers west down the Wildcat River. In a total of 14.5 hours, the nearest tenth of a kilometer per hour. What was the speed of the current of the river? So identify the important information. The boat traveled for a total of 14.5 hours. it went up 100 kilometers, and then went west 100 kilometers. Let C represent the speed of the current kilometers per hour. When the boat is going upstream, the speed is equal to the speed still water minus C. When the boat is going downstream, the speed is equal to the speed in still water plus C. So the distance is 100 for both. Now upstream is 14 plus C, so that's 100 divided by 14 plus C, and then downstream is 14 minus C. Okay, so your equation is 100 divided by 14 plus C plus 100 divided by 14 minus C equals 14.5. All right, let's go ahead and solve that equation. So we have 100 divided by 14 plus C plus 100 divided by 14 minus C equals 14.5. All right, so we need to multiply everything by 14 plus C, 14 minus C. So that's 100 times 14 plus C times 14 minus C divided by 14 plus C plus 100 times 14 plus C, 14 minus C divided by 14 minus C equals 14.5 times 14 plus C, 14 minus C. All right, this divides and becomes 1. This divides and becomes 1. So you have, let's go ahead and multiply. 100 times 14 is 1400 minus 100C plus 1400 plus 100C equals 14.5 times 14 times 14, I don't remember what that is. Is 196. And then 14 minus C is 14 minus C plus 14C. This is where I made the mistake last time, but I'm not going to do it this time. Minus C squared. So this cancels and this cancels. This cancels, this cancels. You're left with 2800 equals, let's go ahead and multiply 14.5 times 196 is 2842 minus C squared. Subtract 2842. That cancels. You get negative 42 equals negative C squared. Divide by negative 1. You get 42 equals C squared. Take the square root of both sides. Remember, it's plus or minus. Cancel. Square root of 42 is 6.5. Plus or minus 6.5. So the solution C equals negative 6.5 doesn't make sense in context because the speed of the current cannot be negative. Therefore, the speed of the current is about 6.5 kilometers per hour. All right, go ahead and finish up examples, start working on your assignment, and have a wonderful Wildcat day.